This in the bustling city of Enugu, where traffic horns never seemed to rest and tall buildings stretched toward the sky. There lived a man named Nnanna and his wife, Ngozi. They weren't the richest family, but they worked hard and raised 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. On the surface, they looked like a normal city family, with dreams, struggles, and hopes. But inside their home, a dangerous seed of favoritism was taking root. From the very beginning, Nnanna and Ngozi poured their love and resources into their first son, Chijioke. He was brilliant, always top of his class, quick with numbers, and sharp with words. Each time he brought home his report card, his father would raise a high like a trophy and declare, "This is my investment. My Chijioke will change the story of this family. He will take us out of poverty. He will build houses for me in Lekki, buy cars, and make me proud." But not all children in the home received that love. Their second son, Obinna, was different. Obinna struggled in school. Mathematics confused him. English frustrated him. And while his elder brother collected awards, Obinna's school bag carried nothing but red marks and disappointment. Instead of encouragement, his father's words crushed him. "You are dull. You are wayward. You are useless." Nnanna would shout, while neighbors shook their heads in pity. Even their mother, Ngozi, sided with her husband. She cooked special meals for Chijioke, prayed for him daily, and told everyone in church about her first son abroad dream. But when it came to Obinna, she showed little interest. The younger siblings soon noticed the difference. One child was celebrated like a king, the other treated like a stranger in his own home. As time went by, Chijioke continued to shine. He passed his WAC and JAM with flying colors, and Nnanna's pride grew bigger. He began selling plots of land, and even a rental property, just to raise money. "My son must go to Canada," he boasted. "He will study abroad, graduate, and bring glory back to this family." But Obinna, the forgotten son, had different dreams. One evening, in their modest sitting room with the sound of city generators hummed outside, Obinna gathered courage and said, "Papa, I know I'm not good in school, but please help me. I want to learn tailoring. Just small money for training in ABA, that's all I ask." His father's face hardened instantly. "Tailoring? Is that what you want to do with your life? Sew clothes like a common trader? I will never waste my money on nonsense. Look at your brother. He is going abroad. You are nothing but a disgrace." The words hit Obinna like heavy blows. His mother looked away, silent. That night, as traffic echoed outside and laughter drifted from neighbors' compounds, Obinna lay awake, tears soaking his pillow. For the first time, he realized his parents had no faith in him. But destiny does not need permission to rise. With determination, Obinna went to ABA, the city famous for its markets and industries. There, he found his old-school friend, Emeka, who owned a small clothing shop inside Ariaria Market. With humility, Obinna begged, "Please, my brother, let me work for you. I don't need salary. Just allow me to stay, so I can save and learn tailoring one day." Emeka, moved by his persistence, accepted. For 7 long months, Obinna worked like a servant. He swept the shop, carried bales of clothes, loaded trucks, and arranged wares from morning till night. He ate sparingly, slept on the hard floor of the shop, and endured insults from customers. Yet, in his heart, he carried a quiet fire. One day, he would become a tailor. Back in Enugu, his father never asked of him. To Nnanna, Obinna was already a failure. All his hope was fixed on Chijioke. When the day finally came for Chijioke to travel abroad, the whole family gathered at Akanu Ibiam International Airport. Relatives took pictures, neighbors congratulated them, and Nnanna stood tall, telling anyone who cared to listen, "My investment is going to Canada. This is the son that will change my destiny." But no one noticed Obinna's absence. No one cared that while his elder brother was flying across the Atlantic, he was still in ABA, sleeping on a shop floor, chasing a dream that no one believed in. After 7 months of sweat and sacrifice, Obinna finally saved enough to register for tailoring training. It was not easy. His hands bled from needles. His back ached from sitting behind machines, but he endured. While his parents forgot him, destiny was quietly shaping him. Meanwhile, Every call from Canada filled Nnanna with pride. He boasted in church, in the market, and even in his office. My Chijioke will soon graduate. He will come back with dollars. He will build estates for me. But life has a way of humbling every man. The city lights glittered, cars honked, and businesses thrived, but in the shadows of Enugu, two brothers walked very different paths. One was loved, celebrated, and sponsored abroad. The other was rejected, abandoned, and left to struggle alone. Yet, unknown to everyone, it was a rejected son whose destiny would one day turn the story of the family upside down. For the stone the builders rejected was about to become the cornerstone. The journey had only just begun. The city of ABA never slept. From the roaring engines of Okadas weaving through tight streets, to the endless voices of traders chanting "Customer, come and buy," life in ABA was fast, loud, and unforgiving. It was in this storm of survival that Obinna, the son who had been cast aside, began to carve his destiny. Every morning before the first cock crowed, Obinna was already awake. He had no soft bed, no mattress, only a thin mat spread on the concrete floor of Emeka's stall. The cold air of dawn seeped through the shutters, chilling his bones. But Obinna forced himself up. He would sweep the entire stall, arrange fabrics in neat piles, and then dash to the stream of customers as the sun slowly painted the sky. But as he worked, his mind often wandered back home. He could still hear his father Peter's harsh words echoing in his heart. "You are a failure. Nothing good can come out of you. Look at your brother David. He will be a great man." Each word was like a wound that refused to heal. And so, as Obinna carried bales of fabric on his shoulders, sweat pouring down his face, he whispered to himself, "One day they will see. One day, the son they rejected will become the pillar they lean on." Days became weeks, weeks turned to months. ABA taught Obinna survival. He ate one meal a day, sometimes just Gary and groundnut. Yet he worked with a smile. His friends pitied him, but he never begged. The city was rough, but inside Obinna was a fire no one could extinguish. After 7 months, he had saved enough money to begin an apprenticeship. He approached a master tailor, a strict but skilled man named Mr. Okafor, whose eyes could measure fabric without a tape and whose hands stitched with the precision of an artist. "Do you really want to learn this work?" Mr. Okafor had asked, his eyes searching Obinna. "Yes, sir. I am ready," Obinna replied. And so began the long, grueling journey of apprenticeship. From sunrise to sunset, Obinna sat at the sewing machine. He learned how to cut patterns, how to measure customers, how to join pieces of fabric into a masterpiece. His fingers bled from needle pricks. His back ached from bending over machines. Sometimes, he worked until his eyes grew red and heavy with exhaustion. Yet, no matter how hard it got, he refused to quit. Each prick of the needle reminded him of his father's rejection. Each stitch was a silent revenge. But back home in Enugu, life was different. His father Peter wore pride like a crown. Every phone call from Canada was like music to his ears. "My son Chijioke is in Canada," he would boast to neighbors. "He is studying engineering. Soon, he will return and build houses for me." His mother Ngozi became untouchable in the women's fellowship at church. Whenever someone asked her how her children were doing, she would proudly say, "Ah, my Chijioke is in Canada. He is doing wonders. God has blessed us." And when they asked about Obinna, her lips tightened. Her eyes looked away. She would wave her hand dismissively. "Oh, he is just managing somewhere in ABA." Not once did Nnanna or Ngozi send him money. Not once did they ask how he survived. In their eyes, he was still the shadow, the forgotten son. Obinna endured. After 1 year and 6 months, he completed his apprenticeship. On the day Mr. Okafor handed him his freedom, and Obinna wept silently. He had no family to celebrate him, no father to clap for him, no mother to dance. Alone, he walked the dusty streets of ABA, clutching the certificate of completion. That night, he spread his mat in the stall, staring at the ceiling. His chest burned with both pride and sorrow. "God, you see me. One day they too will see me." But the battle was not over. He had no money to start his own shop, no machine of his own. With humility, He begged Mr. Okafor to let him stay and work under him for a token. Mr. Okafor agreed, giving him a meager 5,000 naira a month. It was small, but Obinna swallowed his pride. He worked harder than ever. His friends laughed at him. "So you left home, left school, just to become a tailor? See your life. Obinna, your brother is in Canada enjoying, and you are here sweating like a servant." But Obinna only smiled. "Laugh at me now," he would whisper, "but one day you will wear my clothes." Slowly he saved. Every naira he earned, he tucked away. He ate less and denied himself small pleasures until at last he had enough to rent a tiny shop. It was no bigger than a kiosk, just enough space for one sewing machine and a stool. But it was his own. On the day he opened the shop, he placed his hand on the rusty door and prayed, "God, bless these hands. Let every stitch I make open doors for me." And as ABA bustled with life, Obinna bent over his second-hand machine. The generator hummed, the needle clicked, and sweat dripped from his forehead. But for the first time, he was not just surviving, he was creating. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away in Canada, Chijioke's story was changing. The golden boy, the pride of the family, was walking into darkness. Parties consumed his nights, alcohol clouded his days, and friends led him astray. But back home, no one knew. His parents still danced his name, blind to the shadows swallowing their beloved son. Destiny, however, is like a tailor's work. It takes time. The pieces may look scattered at first, but when stitched together, the final design will shock the world. In ABA, Obinna stitched clothes late into the night. In Canada, Chijioke stumbled in and out of clubs, his studies forgotten. Two brothers, two paths, two destinies, one rejected, one adored. But the day of revelation was drawing near. The city of Enugu had never seen such excitement. From the quiet corners of the street to the bustling compound of Mr. Nnanna and Madame Ngozi, the news spread like wildfire. Chijioke is coming back from Canada. Neighbors whispered, friends gathered, and even church members prepared songs of welcome. Nnanna, dressed in his best ibada, strutted around like a king. His chest swelled with pride. "My investment has returned," he boasted to anyone who cared to listen. My son will build me a mansion. He will buy me cars. My enemies will bow to me now." Ngozi's joy was overflowing. She had already cleared the best room in the house, dusted every corner, and even bought expensive curtains to welcome her first son home. She moved with the glow of a woman who believed her suffering had ended. But there was one person who watched quietly, his heart heavy, Obinna. From ABA, he received the news with a bittersweet smile. Alone in his small shop, surrounded by fabrics and humming machines, he whispered, "God, may my brother's return not become the beginning of sorrow." The day finally came. At Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Nnanna and Ngozi waited with tears in their eyes. When David walked out the arrival gate, tall and handsome, dressed in jeans and a designer jacket, they rushed to embrace him. Cameras flashed, neighbors cheered. It was as if royalty had returned. "Welcome, my son, my investment, my future," Nnanna shouted, hugging him tightly. Chijioke smiled, but his eyes carried a darkness, and no one noticed. For 3 days, the family celebrated. Music filled the compound. Food was shared and drinks flowed. People came from far and near to congratulate Peter. "You are a lucky man," they said. "Your son will change your story." But on the 4th night, the celebration turned confusion. Ngozi entered the sitting room quietly and found Chijioke rummaging through her handbag. Shocked, she called his name. "Chijioke, what are you doing?" Startled, he dropped the bag, hiding a wad of cash behind him. His eyes were red, his hands trembling. "Mama, I just needed small money." But the lie did not hide the truth. From that day forward, little by little, the mask began to fall. Soon, things started disappearing from the house. At first, it was small, an old radio, a wristwatch. Then it grew worse. Television sets, electric fans, even their generator vanished one morning. When neighbors asked, Chijioke laughed it off. But in the secret corners of Enugu, he was selling his father's belongings as iron condemned. exchanging them for the white powder and brown bottles that chained his soul. The proud investment had become a slave. Ngozi wept silently at night, hiding her tears from her husband. But one evening, the truth exploded. Nnanna returned home to find the compound filled with angry neighbors. "Your son stole my phone," one man shouted. "He sold my motorbike." Another yelled. Nana's heart pounded. He looked around in disbelief until his eyes landed on Chijioke, his beloved son, standing in the center, his lips cracked, his clothes dirty, his body shaking like a leaf in the wind. "Chijioke," Nana's voice broke. "Tell me it's a lie." But Chijioke only laughed, a hollow, bitter laugh that pierced through the night. That was when the truth spilled. A close family friend who had studied in Canada with Chijioke came forward. He told them the shocking truth.